when the upper limb becomes the lower limb. Now you might sit and think, for whom is this relevant? Nevertheless, this is the reality for manual wheelchair users who have sustained a spinal cord injury. In general, these manual wheelchair users rely heavily on their upper limbs for independent mobility. Now, before I tell you a bit more about my area of research, let me introduce you to 41-year-old Mads, whose insight and sincerity has been a great inspiration to me, both in relation to my research, but also personally. In the year 2000, Mads had everything going for him. However, one evening his world shattered into pieces. At the age of 26, Mads sustained a spinal cord injury in the neck, and thereby became one of the approximately 3,000 injured that we have here in Denmark. An injury in the neck called tetraplegia implies neurological impairments in all 4 limbs. If Mads' injury had just been a few millimeters lower, he would have had full arm function. Now, rehabilitation was a very tough time, and in the beginning, the only thing he could move was his hands. Along the way, he was offered an electric wheelchair. However, he turned the offer down and said, "No, I will wait for the strength to return in my arms and upper body, or else I will feel as a disabled person." Eventually, some of his strength returned, and among other things, participation in wheelchair rugby at a high level made him pluck up courage again. However, Mads has felt on his own body the extra load sports put on his shoulder, and he had to reduce his training. But he still occasionally plays wheelchair rugby and do exercises in order to keep his shoulders healthy. Mads has never doubted that the key to his mental strength lies in his ability to freely move around using his upper limbs as his legs. Now, shoulder pain is the most common complaint among spinal cord injured. Actually, the prevalence is anticipated to be around 3 times higher than in the general population, and seems to be more common in the types of high injuries like Mads'. Generally, participation in sports activities are recognized to contribute to long-term health, social and personal well-being. My research area focuses on shoulder health and related quality of life among spinal cord injured. More specifically, I try to answer questions like, what are the overall extent and consequences of having shoulder problems among spinal cord injured in Denmark? And how is this related to physical activity and quality of life? And what could be underlying mechanisms in relation to, for example, strength? And what do we actually know about shoulder exercises in relation to treatment and prevention? And actually, now Mads and others are helping to answer all these questions. Now I, and the spinal cord injured, of course, can certainly see the importance of having a healthy shoulder. And I do hope that I've been able to bring on this message to you.